Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Werewolf Claws and Fangs and Revolvers Chronicle. I am the Ravenous Harkon. My name is Will, and when we left off with our Guru pack, we opened up with Layla coming down to Garrett to pull him aside to let him know that there was an issue upstairs, and she ran off to get the doctor. Artist tried to make herself useful, asking to be put to work as she feels how she feels. And Garrett, for his part, knowing that she's a guest of Kora's, tried to be as easygoing as possible and let her sweep up most of the floor. At the cairn, though, we got to see Kora and Walk's spirits come in and see a young, not young, but a rather veteran lupus kinfolk about to give birth. The Master of the Challenge, Rends the Flesh, invited Kora to speak to him in the Alpha about why they were there, and they got the bad news that the Moon Bridge would not be just given or opened up to them, and there was a challenge issued. Back at the bar, Artis was taken outside. Garrett made sure that she had blankets as the weather was getting colder and colder. And after a few minutes, the doctor came down and asked for her help specifically because the two of them are Guru, and so they cannot contract the tuberculosis that was going on upstairs in room 3. She was introduced to a Mr. Halford and a Vanessa Smythe, one of the girls that works there at the Gilded Apple. And apparently both of them are infected. Him for sure was dying of the consumption, but she had been in contact with him, so the doctor kind of kept her in quarantine. Back at the cairn, Walks and Charlie helped deliver 6 healthy pups from the young lupus kinfolk. But there was a 7th pup, the runt of the litter, that didn't make the transition from womb to life, and as such, Walks took it upon himself to perform a rite to pass on the spirit. Charlie followed along to try and take notes and kind of learn what should be expected of him, since he is a theurge and one of the only theurges in the cairn itself. Kora sat with the master of the challenge, overlooking the southern mountain range, and was told that there are long shadows in the mountain and that there are wild spirits that call the range home. She was tasked with finding a trophy, and was told that the spirits in the mountain are forces of nature, that it might be the Wendigo itself. Um, and was given an ultimatum, was served an ultimatum by the master of the challenge, that the pack either had to succeed or be destroyed entirely, kind of pulling them away from what they had established and kind of bolstering other packs that could use their help. So it is an all or nothing situation for this Guru pack. Um, Back at the bar, Artist got a little bit less friendly with some of the friendlier people than what happened in the previous episode with the young circus girl. But there was still some friendly banter going around, um, and she got to experience for a little bit what it was to not be judged by her impairment. On the walk back, Kora and Walks had a moment to kind of sit down and breathe about the situation, but the frustration was a little bit too much to bear for Kora, who ended up going into her Glabro form unintentionally. But as she got things off her chest and she let things kind of go, and accepted her fate, she melted back down and managed to notice a small set of footprints, little paw prints that have been following Walks since the cairn. But getting back to the bar, they could see that Garrett and Layla had been taking care of the situation. That Doc was kind of beleaguered, eating food at the back of the bar. Was told about the situation with the consumption, and after checking in on the gentleman that evening, it was unfortunately too late for him as he perished, kind of passed on after being put to sleep with a little bit of lithium, because that's how you cure everything back in the Wild West. Let's give him a little bit of lithium. Um, and so the coroner was brought in, measured the body. The decision to move Vanessa to Walks's room to kind of keep her from interacting with anybody else was kind of agreed to. Walks would be taking her room for the meantime. They would be cleaning it and taking care of making sure that none of the TB kind of spread through the rest of the house. We left off with everyone kind of turning in for the night, and that's where we're gonna kind of come back to the group. The next morning, it is now Tuesday. Good to see all of your faces again, given what we were discussing before the show.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in a good place now. Brought the table together. Donald has liquor, and we're not in our 20s anymore, you know?
We're not, but we have high noons, and that's fine.
That's true.
Vodka's great.
So it's Tuesday morning. Which one of you wants to wake up first? Who would be the first one to wake up?
I feel like Artist gets up early, but I don't know in relation to like if Kora gets up really early to like check on the girls, or if what does Walks sleep in? Like, what is Walks? What are you doing?
I haven't mentioned it for a couple of times, but the first few sessions I mentioned that I've got the Hail the Sun right, which is with the rising sun. I do some sort of fluidity jubity.
Okay.
And yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, as long as I do that for a month straight, which I haven't been able to do yet, get some benefits from it.
Yeah.
So I'm out there doing my saluting the sun. Yeah.
Okay. You've gone, so you would have left before even sunrise came up. What were you gonna say, Cora?
I just remembered that artist is sleeping in Cora's bedroom.
Yeah, we're like together right now.
Yeah. The culmination of all our episodes.
Yeah.
Not in that way, people.
What's for this?
Just for this moment.
Just for this.
Though, if it really depends on artists. Kora would have offered to let artists sleep next to her in the bed. So it just depends on if she took Kora up on that.
Oh, for sure. Artists grew up in an orphanage. Yeah, get what you get and don't get upset. Like, it's fine.
And probably it's one of those things that if Artist doesn't wake up first, well, if Artist wakes up first, she is going to find herself cuddled.
With?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Very, very close and comforting kind of.
Wait a minute. Kora's a cuddler? What?
Yeah.
That's incredible news.
There's a moment as Artist is kind of coming to the morning cycle is starting to kind of like awaken the body. And you do feel like you are being wrapped up by another person. But for Kora, as the morning cycle starts to kind of click through the body, the smell of somebody being in the bed with you takes you back. There's the scent of olives, the Mediterranean Ocean, and would you say this was Vanessa, Amara, or Phoebe that you would most likely find yourself normally entangled with?
It's probably Amara.
Paint a picture for us. Who is Amara? What do you remember of Amara?
Amara is one of Kora. I'm going to use the word sibling, but it's more like cousin, familial relationship kind of thing. She has like 36 cousins. That's the kind of household that Kora grew up in. And so there was a cluster of us that were all born around the same time. And we kind of just were inseparable. Amara is not exactly the youngest out of the grouping, but she's definitely the daintiest. She's the smaller little kid sister that you think about, that kind of gets into trouble, runs her mouth a little bit, and then gets upset at the ramifications of her actions, kind of thing. Basically, she doesn't have the gumption to back up the stuff, whereas Kora and Phoebe do.
There's a moment where you're brought back. There's a very similar situation. You've got her hair in your face as well. You can feel the warmth radiating off of her back. It's a little chilly winter as well. And there's a moment where she stirs as she feels you kind of waking up. And you feel her elbow kind of jab into your stomach as she's turning around, and then she immediately wakes up, like fully wakes up, seeing at what she's done to you, and she starts to apologize profusely, and you feel the bump. You're taken back to a moment before you were here in America, before events forced the Black Furies to take what was yours. And then before you can even have a moment of solace with that memory, you're brought back as artist stirs and wakes, and the sounds of a Mediterranean winter are dashed with the sudden hammering and building that is happening as the town continues to expand and the railway station is being built. And you can still hear some barkers have started to kind of yell out news about the circus and the time frame that they expected to be ready for visitors. But you both kind of wake up around the same time to very different stimulus. I think Artist hears the barker talking about the 7 tents that you can go visit, talking about the suites, the different sites, the animals. And there's a moment, I think, for Artists where you knew there was like a tiger or a panther, but there's other animals that they're having on display that I think would kind of flutter in the cockles of her heart. Maybe in the subcockle area. Who knows? Maybe even in the liver. But you both start to stir awake.
I think that it would be instinctual for Artists to kind of, just like it would in like a group home or anything, if she's being cuddled, she's just gonna kind of like pat and soothe back while before Kora like wakes up fully, just to make sure that whatever comfort she needs, she's getting it back. And I'm sure that's something that Artists has experienced with nights with people who came into the orphanage and didn't have really a lot of comfort at all. So it's very instinctual. Artist might still be half asleep, and it's just like, yep, yeah, it's good. You good?
And it's probably, I'm not going to say it because I will butcher the Greek language. I know I will. But artist is, Kora is probably talking in Greek. And it's very much that, it's okay, Amara. It's okay, here. And there's probably this gentle move to roll with, aka to, comfort and alter the position just a little bit so that Amara doesn't freak out. Mm-hmm. And it's all in Greek, so I don't think artist.
Perfect. I'm very confused. Great.
Yeah. There's just a mumbling that brings her back to where she is.
And yeah, it's definitely one of those things. If artist doesn't wake her up or say something that would fully pull her out, there was probably a gentle hand grab and a gentle pull to her stomach for a gentle rub for a second.
Well, yeah, the stomach would probably be artist is okay, it's time to wake up.
And that's probably when Kora just immediately shoves artist away and does the roll.
How hard do you shove me?
I think both of you fall to either side of the bed, I think, from that.
Artist falls with a scream. Because that was not what she thought was going to happen.
The door to the adjoining room kind of bursts open, and you see Layla in half a robe as she kind of just is. Her hair's a mess. Clearly, she is not a morning person. Mm-hmm. But she bursts in. She's kind of got a slipper in one hand and what looks to be a pair of scissors in the other. She goes, "All right, what the fuck was that?"
And immediately, artist's hand goes up. I wasn't expecting to fall out of bed so hard. I'm sorry, Layla.
I'm sorry.
Keep your shenanigans to your fucking selves. People are trying to sleep around here.
I know, Layla. I'm sorry. I was having a dream and I got shook out of it and quite a way.
Artist did not shake you. She did not shake you. You patted my tummy and I didn't like it.
Actually, what I was trying to say is that she was bringing your hand to pat her tummy.
Oh, not understood. Thought you were just going for the tum, and I was like, no. That is danger zone.
Off limits.
No touch, danger zone.
Yeah.
It makes me think, and makes me wonder if artist is ticklish now.
Probably.
Canon. On the way in from your right, you will see Eskaminzen kind of walking towards the
who's a what's a?
The Nuwisha. That's part of the bounty hunters. I believe that he was introduced to you guys.
Eskaminza?
Eskaminzim.
The name sounds familiar, so you must have said it.
At some point. I hope so. Otherwise, yeah, the Nuwisha, that was part of the bounty hunters, kind of is walking into the Gilded Apple. And as he sees you, he kind of holds up his hand. Are the rest of your pack awake, sir?
Should be soon. We can check.
I have things to discuss. Food first, though, and you see him happily hop up the steps into the Gilded Apple.
After you.
Oh, he doesn't know.
I say I'm already gone.
Yeah. He is walking in, making himself at home. But He sidles up to the bar. You see Garrett kind of give him a look. He gives you a look. And then you hear him say, I didn't think we'd be seeing your kind around here after the last outburst. And the Nuwisha just kind of smiles. The grandfather is not particular about reactions. Food, please. And he puts down some coins. And then he goes and he sits at a table. You notice that a bunch of the regulars...
look like I'm not sure what's happening, but it's not like just danger.
You notice that where normally there'd be 8 or 9 regulars having breakfast here, there's only 2. The normal liveliness of the place for breakfast is very muted compared to how you normally feel. How it normally is, rather. But what do you do when you come in from your ritual?
Well, I join Coyote.
Okay.
Despite his, I don't believe at all that he has specific allegiance to, the other two. Because, Coyote is the trickster. And they don't make no allegiance with anybody.
This is true.
He does what he does in service of Gaia, and, we all just have to suffer with it.
The morning is cold. There is a small layer of snow out on the grounds. It looks like it might have snowed overnight. The sky is gray, really muggy. But Garrett, after a few minutes, comes over with a regular breakfast and one of those little tin cups of coffee. And the Nuwisha kind of smiles at you, reaches into his little belt pouch, and pulls out a small, leather-wrapped lump, like about half the size of a human fist. And he slides it to you. For your...
Is it half of a human fist?
Yeah. For your song singer. I don't think she liked when I gave it to her last time.
Did you put it directly into her mouth? Of
course.
She doesn't like that. It happens all the time.
She doesn't like things being put in her mouth?
When others do it without asking. They have different ways across the sea.
They are strange. White people.
Indeed.
He starts to eat, and after a moment, he looks at you. You are Spirit Talker.
Yes.
Has grandfather visited you?
I thought for a time that was you. Not since I came here. I was sent to here by a visit. Direction.
Grandfather has visited me.
Auspicious.
Shown me things. And you see him go back to eating. Kora and Artis, are you guys coming out together? Or?
Of course.
Yep.
We fell out of bed together. We're coming out together. It has
Makes
to happen.
sense. Makes sense. You see that Walks is at a table with the Nuwisha.
No, I don't see that.
Well, not you, but
I
Kora
had
does.
to. I had to.
Cora does.
Perfect.
So, I have to make sure that she knows what she can see. She has working eyes.
She does.
Kora kind of nods, and it's one of those things where she waves, and it's basically her signal for breakfast, and she goes to sit down with Walks with Spirits and our Nuwisha friend, if we can say friend.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
is there a
Friend.
way that I can identify him, either via voice or via smell?
Oh, by voice. The moment he speaks, you'll
Taste.
recognize who it is.
I don't want taste, Donald. I didn't ask for taste. Did you hear my list? Because taste wasn't on it. The moment that Artist hears it, she's a little bit rigid and leans over to whisper to Kora. He put it in my mouth. Do you remember?
What?
Do you remember when I said that someone put something in my mouth and I didn't want it in my mouth? It was him.
And it's one of those things where she looks at Artist, listens, and her brow was already a little furrowed. She was trying to sleep, push whatever was happening in the bedroom behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's...
I think it was chocolate, but I didn't like it.
The moment she says chocolate, it's like it went from like a 12
Yep.
down to like a 3.
But in
what a roller coaster.
In Artist's mind, it's just as bad as like when what Kora thinks happens. In Artist's head, she's like, something was in my mouth and I didn't want it. So Artist is confused by why Kora kind of relaxed and was like, does that not bother you?
I thought he had done something different.
It doesn't matter. He put something in my mouth without asking, and that's very rude.
Better if it's something that belongs in the mouth than if it's something that doesn't belong in the mouth.
What doesn't belong in the mouth, Donald?
Dirt.
Flowers.
That's
Yeah. Spiders? I don't know.
That bullshit that Kora drinks.
Correct.
So many things. But you do hear him kind of as the two of you come down. Please sit. We have much to discuss.
Kora specifically places Artist next to Walks and takes the spot that's closer to our Nuwisha friend than Artist. It's that kind of situation.
And Artist thinks that she's being the rudest bitch ever. Like inside, Artist is like harumphing, but on the outside, she's just like stiff. And not wanting to talk to him, but if he talks to her, she's gonna instantly respond.
Of course.
Artist is stiff.
Yeah, she's like,
but Kora and Walks, like he is genial, like he is just there's a facade of happiness that he's kind of putting on. Kora has seen enough trauma to know that there's a fear in his eyes, and you don't know if that's because he is in a den of Guru by himself, knowing what your people have done to his people. Not even the fact that two of you are white and he is Native American, but the fact that Guru were the ones that instigated the War of Rage, and basically almost destroyed all the Farah. It's not that at all. And when you sit down, Garrett kind of comes over, brings you and Artis food. He makes sure to help Artis kind of bring her hands up to her plate so she knows where it is, and then excuses himself as he kind of feels the seriousness of the situation. And the Nuwisha
Kora's going to smack Garrett on the ass as he goes back to the bar, just for sheer whimsy.
Yeah. And you can see that he stops to say something, but he knows better, and he kind of clears his throat and just kind of walks away. The Nuisha looks around, and once it's kind of quiet, he leans down. How much does your group know of old grandfather?
Old grandfather.
Great
Storyteller.
Coyote.
I don't think I know much about old grandfather.
As much as Walks knows about Pegasus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you might have heard the name before in passing, but no one's ever referred to the Coyote spirit as old grandfather in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
When he says the Great Coyote, then it's kind of like, this is a cultural thing.
Mm.
The old Coyote has come to me in my dreams. He has shown me things. They are frightening. I have been told your group is leaving. I think grandfather wants you to go. In my dream, there is a flock of geese. I can sense danger. To my right is the setting sun. To my left, a storm. Gray skies, darkened, almost black at the edges of my vision. There is a silhouette of what your people call a church. I think Coyote is showing me the danger. And then you see him kind of look around. And then he kind of nods to himself. Or grandfather has shown me where you can find your coyote.
Our Ragabash.
Mm-hmm.
He nods.
Artis is holding her breath because she doesn't want to overspeak while Kora's there.
Yeah.
But it's like if she wasn't rigid before, she's even more rigid.
Grandfather cares for all of his kind, regardless of what fur they wear.
So he's in some kind of trouble. He left without saying a word to anyone. I thought he had just wandered off, like some people do. If he's in trouble, he's still our packmate. Protecting and saving him would be priority.
Grandfather showed me this. I felt I had to share.
I really appreciate it.
And you see him slide the bundle that he had given Walks to the center of the table. For you to put in mouth. He points at Artis.
She doesn't take it.
That's fine. He was looking at Kora anyway.
Good. Perfect. Good.
And she kind of picks it up, and it's definitely this kind of look around, and there's like a sniff
Chocolate.
kind of thing.
But something else. Something that is right behind the chocolate. And it's not the almonds. And it's not the dried fruit. Inside the chocolate, there's a liquor scent there.
And she does the thing where she delicately unwraps the bundle.
It is basically like a half a fist size of a nugget of pure chocolate.
And she sees her breakfast. She sees this chocolate. She sees her breakfast. and slowly she picks up the chocolate. And she goes and she takes a bite, just a delicate, demure bite.
It looks like it's rock hard. It's got that little kind of like grayish flaking to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment your lips kind of moisten it and your teeth bite into it, it pulls like fudge.
Mm. Mm. Ooh. Right.
There is a full shot's worth of tequila in your mouth now.
There's just she's taking this bite, she's chewing, and then it hits, and it's like, and she looks at our friend.
Yep. A gift.
See, I thought it was going to be mushrooms.
I'm glad it's not. I do not want to see Kora tripping balls through the city. That would be bad. That's amazing. You make this?
Grandfather's recipe.
That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Did grandfather say anything specific about where we might find our friend, or is it more of on the journey we might?
I have passed on what I have seen. That is all I
The
can
setting
do.
sun, the storm, the church, the flock of geese. This is where we find them.
Well, I'm glad we have our spirit talker. Because if it's not Greek symbolism, I don't get it.
Which is the sun? Helios. Father. Grandfather. Nape. To me. To us.
But he kind of dusts himself off, stands up. Wolf. And then
Coyote.
walks off.
Just so you know, you're always welcome in this establishment. As long as you don't cause too much trouble.
And that, like, there's a small, like, the most passive aggressive.
Love it.
Over
and
here trying to make friends.
Yeah, he smiles, and then the ancestral terror kind of comes back, and he just kind of nods. But you know, he will only come to you if he has information or if he is summoned. He will not come here of his own volition.
I can't undo the past. I can only
But
make us choose to be better.
Garrett does come over once he's gone to pick up his plate, and he kind of points at the two regulars that are eating breakfast. You know anything about why we're not as busy as we're supposed to be? Because they're tight-lipped. I don't know if you wanna wake up Layla and have her work some of her magic on them, but I haven't been able to crack those nuts. Unless you want to give it a stab.
I'll try, but I understand Layla's more of the fun, fancy talker.
She does have a way. She can be real friendly.
There's like a shifty eye with Artis, and she was like, okay, notes. Mental notes. Layla is friendly.
And Kora does get up and seems to saunter over to the gentleman.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where she kind of looks over and she kind of leans on the bar. And she just kind of smiles and says, "Well, good morning."
Both take off their hats to you. Ma'am?
How are you doing?
Can't complain. Work is work.
Sleep well?
Ma'am, thank you. You?
Well enough, all the noise out there.
Quite a racket, ma'am.
So where are your friends? Normally there's so many people here. It's strange. And she does the thing where she kind of leans on the bar and she pushes the chest up even further while she's leaning. It's definitely to give them something distracting to look at.
Sure. Let's have you roll your appearance and streetwise.
This is gonna be fun, I think. Appearance.
Can't be
streetwise.
too terrible.
It's not too bad. What's the difficulty, storyteller?
We'll say 5. You're using your God-given
Hey, she worked that hard.
That was a 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 1. It would have been 2 successes.
One of them immediately entranced by the valley set before him. The other one kind of looks, catches himself, grabs a piece of bread, shoves it in his mouth. Well, ma'am, it seems some of the other boys saw Halford being prepared to be buried over at the corners, and the man kind of let us know that he had died here, and so a lot of the boys are just kind of putting their stock in what the father said about sin and sickness going hand in hand. So now they're trying to keep the distance.
Oh, that goes.
The other guy has not stopped staring.
It'll pass, but that's frustrating. but I appreciate you telling me. And she definitely does that thing where she does the gentle grab of the shoulder with the lightest, that light squeeze.
Yeah, his cheeks immediately blush, and he kind of sheepishly turns away. Oh, ma'am, it's we you just asked a question, I give an answer. That's all.
I know, but I appreciate it so much. I was just very confused over what was happening in my fine establishment, so I really do appreciate a fine gentleman explaining the situation to me.
And you see Garrett slide over with a half a shot of whiskey and just puts it in front of him. For a helpful, fine gentleman as yourself, I assume this is fine? And he kind of looks at Kora.
And she immediately smiles, and it's like, I'll even sweeten the deal. And she takes it and she puts it right between her breasts and holds it. Properly angled and everything.
The other guy just is hitting his arm like, dude, you need to do this. There's clearly a vicarious living through this other gentleman. And he just goes, ma'am, I'm a God-fearing man. And he just like very tenderly just kind of like reaches over, pulls back, reaches over, pulls back, and then just snatches the shot glass with trying not to touch any of the flesh around it.
Oh, my mistake. I just thought I would show you appreciation in my way.
It is appreciated, ma'am. Don't you fret none. And kind of holds up the shot glass, takes it, and you can see that the way he shudders, he's not used to drinking.
If you would like something easier next time, I could tell Garrett to go a little easy on you.
No, it's okay. I'm fine.
And she does the thing where she rubs his back a little to help the burn go down. And then it's definitely the I really appreciate it. Thank you. Before she walks away.
Yeah.
And here's the funniest thing is the guy that was blushing and can't handle any of this, she gave him a little side eye, and that was it.
Was she being friendly or was she being friendly?
Oh, she was being real friendly.
She was being professional.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank
That's
you.
true.
That's so helpful.
Yeah. Professionally
true.
friendly.
And they were just here for the buffet.
Yeah. That's friendly with the silent P in the front.
And she goes and sits down back to her breakfast.
Yep.
How is Vanessa?
We need to go check on her. I haven't checked in yet.
Do you want me to, since I was taking care of her previously? Or
Walks, would you mind going with Artis?
Sure.
And there's definitely this look that says only if Artis wants to. It's very much you don't, and she does kind of clutch your hand a little bit. And
there's
says,
a very deep breath and is like,
you don't have to go if you don't want to. I know it wasn't pleasant.
it's a new day.
That's a good way of looking at it. And she lets go of her hand and she gets back to her breakfast.
Okay.
All right, Walks.
I put my arm for you to, for
Thank
you to take.
you.
Hmm?
Is Vanessa in the same room that I'm assuming she is because they wanted to quarantine her.
No, they put her in Walks' room. And Walks was
Oh, okay.
staying in her room.
Got it.
Yeah, so you're taken a little bit further beyond where you had counted to room 3. And you're much closer to where Pepe's room is. Like you pass Pepe's room, and by the number of steps that you've taken, you're almost at Artis's and not at Artis. Kora's and Layla's room, adjoining rooms. And and you knock at the door, and after a few moments you hear it open, and immediately Walks will see that Vanessa has opened it at arm's length and has kind of rushed back to the far side of the room. She's taking the advice that Doc gave her very literal. But you see she's still in her morning clothes. You good?
That I'll let artists go in first, and
Yep.
I don't want, just in case she's not decent too.
She's wearing clothes. She's just
in her morning clothes.
Yeah.
Not in her sad clothes. Her sad morning. It is the morning clothes.
Yeah, correct. So there's like a full sleeping dress, but she also has a bathrobe, like a robe on. So maybe her ankles are visible to you. I don't know how you feel about that.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's these people have all sorts of hang-ups.
Yeah. Not you.
Artist starts off very chipper. Good morning, Vanessa.
Oh, good morning. It's any word from the doctor?
Nothing yet, but how did you sleep?
Not bad. I'm not used to this bed, but
Is there any symptoms at all?
I don't know what that word is.
Oh, it just means is there any new behavior or things that you're doing that you haven't done before, like coughing or sneezing?
Oh no. I'm okay.
Well, that's a good sign. I'm not a doctor, but I would say that that's pretty good to hear.
I hope so. I don't know what else to do.
I know
it would help if I had and she kind of grabs her pitcher, and you can hear her kind of like grab the heavy clay pitcher off of a table, and she kind of comes over to you and gives it to you. I would love some more water.
Sure.
And for somebody to come in and change out my bedpan.
Sure, I could do that.
Oh no, not you. I would never ask you.
Oh, it's fine. I'll ask for help too, because I'm not sure where the water comes from, and I should have asked beforehand.
I'm already grabbing both of these things.
No, let me grab. She gave me the clay thing. She gave me the pot or the little pitcher. Let me have the pitcher. Huh?
Okay.
Give me the pitcher.
Okay.
Don't mix them up.
I like that. I like the image of like Walks kind of like sliding up, keeping his eyes down, and just like trying to grab the pitcher, and she's got like this bear hug on it.
No.
Oh no! Once she made it clear that she wasn't like, oh, a man in my room.
Yeah.
Then I'm fine.
Oh.
Oh man.
Hey, that's how you get linked.
How do I figure out where the water comes from in this place?
You by yourself, or are you gonna invoke the powers of Garrett?
I'm gonna invoke the powers of Garrett. I'm not gonna make the same mistake a couple of times.
Okay. How's that working out for you?
How is that working out for you?
But you go downstairs, and you count your way over to the bar, and you ask Garrett where the water is, and he's like, "Oh, right this way." And he comes around, and you feel him hook his arm into yours, and he pulls you. He has gotten so used to you asking where things are, that he actually steps very methodically in the direction. Like he lets you hold on to where the end of the bar is, and then starts his step in the direction. It's very slow for regular people, but it is it is like he's methodically teaching you how to get to where you need to be.
And she has a very wide grin on her face. And when she can hear that they're away from like everybody else, she says, I know you worry about me, especially yesterday when you didn't like the company that I kept, but I'm sure that I can handle myself, Garrett. I just occasionally need your help finding some things. You don't have to worry.
Oh, I'm not as worried about you as I am about Kora, Miss Artis.
Is there anything that I should be aware about to be worried about Kora?
That's not my place to say. But he does stop, and then he helps you kind of bend down to feel where the trough is, and is like, this is where we keep our water.
Perfect. I will fill this up and bring it to Vanessa. Thank you for showing me.
Of course. I trust that you can find your way back up by yourself.
I can.
Very well. And he hurriedly leaves the area.
I was keeping an eye out while she was going down the stairs.
Yeah. If you could see, you would see him awkwardly trying to remove himself from the area of questioning that you were just in. Like, he does not want to be anywhere near those kinds of questions. But you replace everything that she asked for. She sits there, she sits on the bed, and she just gives out like this long, drawn out sigh. She's just, I hope I can be back out there sooner rather than later.
We should get the doctor here to see you, and hopefully he can clear you for that. That's what we're hoping for, at least.
Okay. That's good. I thought I'd heard that you were leaving, so I didn't know if I had to wait for you to come back or not.
Well, whatever happens, even if we do have to leave, I'm sure that somebody here will take care of you and talk to the doctor and make sure that you have everything that you need.
Thank you.
Of course. Do you need anything else?
No, this should be fine for now. Maybe some call for breakfast later.
Good. And she kind of she reaches out to kind of give her like a shoulder tap before going to exit. Even though she doesn't like Vanessa, but she's not a bitch.
It's you reach out and you feel her hands kind of grab yours. You were not anywhere near where her body is.
Nice. Cool.
But she does kind of grab your hands, like, and you feel her kind of holding on, like clasping your hand. She's just like, "Thank you for everything, Miss Artis.
Of course.
You're
It's my
you're
pleasure.
such an inspiration with your handicap."
Thank you. There's nothing else that she wants to say in the situation. And so she just smiles really big and nods to exit the room.
Yep. And I figure Walk would slide around to let you get out as fast as possible.
Yeah. And then just
Close
a
the
few
door,
more days.
come back downstairs. What are you taking on this trek of yours, and where are you going? Are you still going?
I mean, I would just return to wherever.
No,
I
I'm
think
saying like once all of you come back at the table downstairs, like or in Kora's office, like what are you going to be taking on whatever trek you're going on, and where are you going first?
Kora,
So we have to decide that, don't we?
do you have
time to be adults?
A gun?
I didn't catch what you said, Donald.
Oh, gun. A gun.
Does Kora have a gun? I would assume you have a rifle.
While our claws are great, we may want to have as much protection as we can get. I know how to use one.
Oh. Well, I do have a rifle. We could.
Long.
We could attempt to go to the general store and see if we can get you a firearm.
If
That's...
I don't know how to use a gun, obviously. Would everyone else have a gun? Including you, Kora?
Artists. This may come off insensitive, but do you even know the basics of trying to fire a firearm?
No. But
One
if everyone else has a weapon, I could think of other weapons.
one of the big things with a firearm is being able to aim.
I'm aware. I wasn't asking for a gun, but if we are going to arm ourselves, I don't have anything other than a rosary.
We all have our flaws.
We do.
I know that I can't help as much as we may need. And since I am trained, it may be a thing to consider if we have it at our disposal.
Artists, we need to find you something that'll work.
Mm-hmm. I have my claws too, but I feel like I want one too. I want a weapon if everyone else gets one.
Makes total sense. And I have this odd idea of walks with spirits or Kora finding some stinky smelling weed and running through and smearing it on an enemy so that artists can aim for the enemy by scent. Even though I know that wouldn't work very well, but it's a great idea.
Just put bells on him. Can you get a bunch of little jingle bells and throw it on them? And then I'll hear them.
If we can get the bells on the enemy, I think we've already got it.
I think we've already won if we got that far, yeah.
The bells.
This is a good way for me to get shot again.
Yes, but we can go to the general store and stock up appropriately. Maybe we should get artists a nice big walking stick.
Perfect. Wait, that would be incredibly helpful.
It's a
Because
shame
if
we
I
can't...
swing it around, then I might hit somebody, even in a far vicinity.
Yes, this is true.
Yay.
Mm,
Yeah, watch out.
maybe one of the big, really thumpy ones with a nice grippy handle.
This all sounds very good.
But I don't know. They're not very popular here. I am describing a shillelagh, by the way. Just so you know.
I know what you're doing.
Your racial weapon.
Yeah.
Can you
The
describe
weapon of her
what is this
people.
shillelagh? What that?
A shillelagh is a walking stick that has a nice massive top end to it that you can basically, you hoist it up, you grab it by the end, and then you clock somebody with. It's almost like a war club in some cases.
Almost.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now to look at it. Oh, I like it. Give me one of those things.
I don't know if we're going to be able to find one because this isn't Ireland.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. So a walking stick might do. Yeah, we can make a jaunt to the general store and see what we can get.
Yeah.
Where will we be going first? I know where I would like to go first, but
where would you like to go first, Hummingbird?
If we have a chance to see Pepe, I would like to see him.
I completely understand, Hummingbird. I want to see him as well.
I feel as though everything else can wait.
The mountain with the Wendigo. was to the south, right?
Storyteller, I believe so.
Correct.
That is where grandfather pointed us towards as well. The setting sun was to his right. The storm to the left. The storm is the east. Your people coming this way, the railroad. And in front of him, Pepe.
So we have to head south regardless. Okay.
So that means we need to hit the general store and then head south.
Yes.
Storyteller, will you tell us what we find at the general store?
If you guys want to give me a list of what you want to take, I'll tell you yay or nay. But I don't think we need like a shopping portion of the episode.
I don't want to shop. That's basically what I was trying to keep from happening, is because we do not need a shopping segment in this episode.
What about a 1980s montage and we all try different outfits for our journey?
Right? Just like when Doctor Who finds their outfit. Sure.
Exactly. Got it.
Yeah.
Artist is just sitting there patiently as we pass in front of her wearing different outfits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
And eventually, every so often, she'll hold up a number, even if nobody's in front of her.
That's exactly how that would happen.
That's it.
Do we find an amazing walking stick for?
I mean, a regular walking stick is fine. There's a bunch of different long branches that have been whittled down to kind of like pathfind walking sticks, so it's not an issue.
Okay.
It will be an issue trying to figure out how to take it with you once you're traveling as Lupus.
I'll hold it in my mouth like a dog.
Sure.
It's my chewing stick.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is.
Perfect. Nikki, are you taking notes?
But about 4 days travel south as far as the wolf goes. I'm assuming you're traveling by day, resting by night, or are you switching up the circadian rhythm?
I feel like we should travel by night and sleep in the day, should we not?
Up to you.
Well, walks.
Yeah, the urge.
But before we move on too far, Kora, could I use your rifle?
Always.
And I do have Charlie sitting back in the cairn, doing the rights to allow me to shift with my stuff.
Oh.
Still.
Yeah.
So I'm not naked. And I'd say whatever the weather allows. If it's too snowy or too overcast, we might need to hide away and continue on.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some urgency to the vision.
That was some good points there. It might be hard to keep our way in the dark with all the snow and everything.
Keeping an eye out for geese.
Geese?
Is Pepe a goose? Chaotic and wild.
He's the angriest goose.
We all got birds.
Oh yeah, we all did get birds.
Yeah.
I feel like, is it too rude to say that Pepe is too unrefined to be a goose? Oh snap.
Ooh, shots fired.
Damn. He's not even around to defend himself.
I know. I was like, wow.
No, but that's how mean Artis is feeling right now, where she's like, got him.
Got him.
She's still mad that he's not around.
Oh, yeah. I would have never guessed.
So would that make him a pigeon?
Maybe it would make him a pigeon.
They are fluffy, frumpy looking birds. And they will eat anything. But in certain instances, they can be quite delicious.
Well, then I pictured that he might be a pigeon.
Okay.
Yep. You hear that, Pepe? You're a pigeon.
Pigeon.
See, I'm just imagining Pancho Pistolas from Tres Caballeros.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess we're probably going during the day then, to keep everything going.
So you're gonna be stopping by the cairn and having Charlie dedicate some stuff to you. How much is everybody wanting to dedicate to themselves? Because it does eat up one of your gnosis dots per item that is dedicated to you.
I already have dedicated clothing and all that stuff, so I'm not concerned too much.
Well, I've had Charlie dedicate my medicine bag.
Yep.
And that's basically what he's been, and my clothes, I guess, as a part and parcel. And the new thing would just be the gun.
Okay.
Which I would be very careful about other kin seeing in the cairn. I don't know how taboo that is, but I don't like the fact that
it is not looked at in the kindness regards. Like it does agitate them and put them on the very defensive posturing. But if you tell them what you're doing, they will back off slightly, but they're still kind of on edge about this this ape crafted weapon that can rain death from a distance. But yeah, Charlie dedicates the gun for you. He'll probably dedicate whatever set of clothing Artis has on her.
Mm-hmm. I don't picture Artis having anything other than the walking stick, to be honest.
I'll count the walking stick with the clothing, so
okay.
It's just a one item, one bundle. But you take off. What?
I was just going to say that Kora thanks Charlie before they leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's the least I can do. I'm I only know a few things that I got before I got here and whatever I picked up from walks.
Good practice.
But
we will return, and if not, you're the theurge.
He worriedly smiles at that idea. 5 days travel to the south. You come across the first signs for a town called Santo Domingo. And as you're getting closer, you start to smell burnt wood and burnt flesh. It is mid-afternoon, late afternoon almost, when you're pulling up. You're riding up towards the town, and the largest structure that is still standing is the remnants of what looks to be a church It looks to have had some adjoining building not too far from it that has been completely burnt down. The church is called El Toque Divino Asilo e Orfanato Iglesia de Dios el Todo Cariñoso, which translates into the Divine Touch Asylum and Orphanage, Church of God the All-Caring. Inside the church, you can see that there's been signs of a struggle, blood spatters. You can see broken pews. Near the dais, there is the body of what looks to be a nun. And as you go over and pull her around so she's face up, it is the spitting image of the nun that Walks saw in the reflection. But her face is sunken in, the skin is taut. It looks like she was exsanguinated. But there are defensive wounds on her forearms. Her body looks like it was clawed.
This is the body of the spirit we saw.
Is there anything you can do here to help and assist it?
Perhaps she came just to get us to come here. Maybe
That would
that's
make sense.
her vengeance. We can be her vengeance.
This is going to get a little weird. Kora's going to check the nun's habit for pockets and stuff like that, and trying to find anything.
You find her rosary.
Oh, I don't know if I should take this from her.
I can use it.
She did
Would
give
it
it
be
to
helpful?
Artis.
There's a pause, and then there's a remembrance of what was told. And she gently takes it and hands it to Artis.
Yep.
Artis kind of wraps it around her wrist.
It might be that that terrible leech that shot us. Tried to take
Suspected
Artis.
it might be.
Is that what they do? Take all the blood like this?
Leeches drink. They drain the living to sustain themselves. They take from nature and they poison the area around themselves. And there's a little bit of aggression there because Kora is reminded of how she lost. That's really what's going on there, is Kora remembers how, in no simple terms, this individual was able to shake off her attacks and put in a good showing too.
Yeah. If you guys would like to scope out the scene, you can make perception and investigation rolls.
Where I'm going.
Right. Perception and investigation.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be more difficult for Artis since she can't see.
But I still have 6 die.
Sure.
So
I mean, it's going to be difficulty 8 for you, but it's going to be 6 for everybody else.
Three success.
Okay.
Just one success.
Okay.
4 successes.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Uh, meandering around the church, Artis will smell that familiar kind of grunge that follows Pepe. So you could tell that he was here.
And the moment that I smell it is the moment I say it out loud.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Walks and Kora kind of get to see more of the situation. It looks like there was a priest that was sleeping here. There's 2 separate kind of rooms. One looks to have female clothing, or what you imagine would be the nun, and the other room has more male fitted clothing, which you imagine is a priest, but there's no body found here. The woman's room has a frame photo. It looks very expensive, and it looks like it was dropped or thrown, because when you pick it up, the glass is kind of shattered, it's spider-webbed. But there is a younger version of this woman, a younger version of what you imagine is the priest in question, and just about a dozen children of varying ages, from like what you imagine is 16 to 8 or 9, maybe 10 years old. And there's a bloody fingerprint underneath, like right underneath one of the chins of a little girl. But next to her, kind of looking at her more than at the camera, is a young boy who looks very familiar to Pepe. Clean shaven, bright eyed, hopeful, very much infatuated with whoever this girl is.
Oh, he's all bright and shiny in this picture. The world hasn't traumatized him yet.
Yep. There's just this mop of black hair. It's kind of grin. Like anything he could set his mind on because of her would be accomplished. Outside, there are houses in shambles, bodies kind of strewn about here and there. Entire families have been killed. Some of them look to be kind of sullen and their skin taut, like they were exsanguinated. Others look like they were just too weak to survive the initial attack. And although the wounds are very similar to claws because of your own experiences with claws, they are not as wide. The claw marks are much closer together. It almost looks like if this was a Garu, it was definitely a very small Guru.
I don't like this. We need to keep looking.
As you guys are looking around, you can hear the sound of horses, and you see in the distance what looks like a wagon. One of their numbers, though, has kind of approached the town, and as he sees your little trio, He holds up his arms, very much like he didn't want to come across this kind of scene. And he yells out, "Was this the town? We were told that we could find rest and food on our trip west. Is this Santo Domingo?"
Fortunately, it is, but I don't think you're going to find any rest here. You might need to go a little further into conflict.
I don't think we're gonna make it that far. He looks up, and the sun is already about what you would imagine is an hour or so from sunsetting. He's like, "All right, I'll let my people know that we're gonna have to find a place to hunker down near the river."
If they want, you could come in here, but it's very. We just found the scene ourselves, and
No, we have children. We don't want them to see any of this. So.
Yes, exactly. If you had that was exactly what I was trying to bring up. If you have delicate constitutions or younger individuals,
tips his hat. I appreciate your warning, ma'am. Y'all have a safe night.
You too.
And he writes back. There's an exchange, and you see the wagon just kind of start to turn back towards the river.
Mox, I don't like this.
After our last few encounters, I'm quite on edge. That wagon coming through, if that person hadn't jumped out and like the arms up, yeah, I'm inside one of those burnt out buildings with the gun sticking out of the window. We don't know if they're still here.
That's my point.
How long ago does all of this seem like?
At least a week.
Do we get any sense of that? Okay.
Yeah, at
just
least
to make
a
sure
week.
it wasn't years ago. Everything is desiccated and dried.
No. This looks like it's been at least a week. Some of the bodies look fresher than others. So you imagine that this must have happened. At the most, it's a month old. At the freshest, it's a week.
Does that correlate with how long Pepe has been gone?
Pepe's been gone about a week and a half now. Almost 2 weeks, yeah.
I'm hoping Pepe didn't have any hand in this. I think part of Kora is relieved that Artis is blind at this moment, dealing with this whole thing.
Honestly, you're not saying like a whole ton like about the picture and stuff. So I'm just like, well, Pepe was here, anyways. La-di-da.
Yeah. I imagine that Artis must have like the biggest smile on her face. The fact that she smelled Pepe, and that gives her the fact that he is still alive at least. Or was still alive, but everybody else has just this grim kind of like what happened face here? Yeah.
Yep. And Artis is like, we got
it. It's me and you and me. Just like fucking.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I'm just picturing her happily walking, almost strutting next to this corpse pile.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I can like smell the blood, but I'm assuming that it's still the nun. Like, I'm just gonna be like, that's it. Like, you're good. It was just her.
Yeah.
And then we just keep going, and we're all fine.
Yep.
We are looking for our friend. Mm-hmm. We know sundown is coming, and we need to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So safe.
If we've searched enough, perhaps we bury the lady that may bring the spirit to.
And Artis, for sure, like as everyone else has been investigating, said like the final prayer over her, just kind of like to hopefully she doesn't haunt anymore. If we just put her to rest, go to sleep.
You take what you can, and there is a little bit of a cemetery, so I don't know if you want to bury her amongst the others that have been buried there. Excuse me.
That seems fair to me. If she lived in this area and basically lived in the church, I feel like it would be best for her to be buried in the cemetery.
Also, Kora, with your 4 successes, you will have learned that the nun was the matron of the orphanage. Her name was Celia de la Lupe Clara. And she had been appointed by the priest, a Padre Luis Orlando Gonzalez. But amongst the ledger that you find with like the last graduating class of the orphanage, there is a J.J. Martinez.
Pepe's name.
Did you say that out loud, or you just?
Yeah,
oh, you
Pepe's
did?
Name.
Oh, where is it on?
It's on this ledger book. Do you want to know his given name?
Please.
And she just kind of smiles, and it's like, it's J.J. Martinez.
I wonder what the JJ stands for. He's told me. But
It doesn't say Juan Jose?
It does not say Juan Jose. It says JJ. Like all the kids have their first name initialed, like abbreviated, but all their surnames that they either chose or were given or were adopted into are marked. It's not difficult, especially with the 4 successes, to discover that the names with a certain symbol at the end of them were kids that were adopted, to infer that they were adopted, and the ones with a different particular symbol chose their surnames, and that there's another symbol for what you would imagine is something that was given or just adopted from either the clergy or members of the populace itself. Pepe's is chosen.
Ooh. I'm glad.
What are we learning about?
He chose his surname.
Oh.
He chose it. Which also meant that he wasn't adopted.
Yeah. Some children do have a name of a parent, usually the mother, and a reason for why they ended up at the orphanage, like sickness, selling to kind of cover a debt, things like that. Pepe does not have a name for either the mother or father. A complete blank slate.
He must have been dropped off on the doorstep or something.
I bet that he made a lot of trouble in these hallways.
I wish I could show you this portrait I found of our young Pepe, but he does seem very adorable.
And he smells much better.
Well, he is our little pigeon, so no matter how he smells,
He's your
he's
little
still
pigeon.
ours.
Let us see if we can sniff him out even further. And I see the ST is rolling dice, which makes me immediately nervous.
Excellent. If everybody could roll perception and alertness for me.
Perception and alertness.
It'll be difficulty 7 for Kora and Walks. It'll be difficulty 6 for Artis.
Okay. Two successes.
2 successes.
You said it was difficulty 7?
7.
What'd you get?
I've got 1 success. I rolled a 10, and I rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And
I synced it and an 8.
yeah, and so 1. 1.
Okay. 2 successes. There is a moment where you've found all of these different things. You've put the nun to rest, and as you kind of sitting around talking, you realize that the sun has set on you. That now darkness has claimed the land, and as you start to realize where you are, there's a moment where Kora just feels the claws dig into her back. Ring. And you hear what sounds like just this grimacing voice. More food for the party. Soak 6 aggravated, please.
Ugh, that's a lot.
In your Hamid stamina.
Yeah, I'm in Hamid. I don't like being in Hamid.
Yep.
I mean, I have some dope ass titties in Hamid, but
dope ass. Yeah, you guys got snuck up on.
Oh.
There is a scraggly, kind of just barely above average height, maybe like 5'7", human, long wild hair, these kind of bushy eyebrows, these sunken kind of blackened eyes, the very kind of sharp teeth of what almost looks like a shark in his mouth. Disheveled appearance, looks like he just dug himself out of the ground because there's still dirt kind of falling off of him, but he has these wickedly long claws that look menacing even to Guru. And he's just come up with an upward swipe from her hip up across her back. How many successes did you get?
I didn't get a 6 or better.
Oh my god! And immediately Kora drops.
Oh fuck! All right. Kora was next to me, I'm assuming, when this happened, right?
Yep. Yeah. So.
And we're already in Krino's form?
No.
We were traveling?
You are not in Krino's form.
We were in Homid. If I was in Krynos, I might have been able to soak this.
Yeah, you were in human form because you were investigating. But if everybody could roll initiative. Oh, I have a +4 and I got a 10 on my die. That is, I thought he was gonna go last.
Initiative.
In the jungle. So remember, it's one die. It's you roll one die, and whatever you roll, you add to the total of whatever rank you have in dexterity and wits.
Okay.
Roll
10.
20 decided to flip out on me.
Oh no.
I just rolled, so I didn't know when I rolled. Oh. Okay,
I got
that's
15.
good. Hold on.
Yeah, it's showing that you got a 10.
It's 15 for me.
15 for you as well? Yeah.
Oh.
15 for both of us.
Yeah. All right, good. So he's not going first. So Kora, give me a rage roll.
You get it. You get it. I was already thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where is this coming from? Is Kora gonna go nuts? Is it gonna go nuts? Let's get nuts.
Nope.
And you said a rage roll.
Yep. Difficult.
Right.
We'll say difficulty 7.
Difficulty 7.
I don't think it warrants the full 8 because this is a humiliating situation to be in, or in a ruin especially.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. There we go. It's technically 7 dice, but I couldn't roll the 7 all straight.
Oh my god. What a terrible night for you.
What a night it is to have a curse.
All of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Kora is bleeding out.
Angrily.
Yeah.
Angrily?
But you notice that whereas you would expect in a rune to have taken the blow and just fully and let the rage envelop them, Kora's still on the floor, face down, writhing in pain, but the body is slowly coming to a stop. This might be where Kora meets her fate. If action isn't taken, walks.
Mother's touch!
What touch?
Over to her.
Mother's touch.
Oh, Mother's touch. I thought you said moth's touch. I was like, okay, get the moths out.
Get the moss out.
Holy healing, activate. Holy healing, activate.
So that's going to be spend Gnosis, intelligence, medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got lots of that. That too.
Also, that Mother's touch is really nice.
Super nice.
Touch your mother.
So the difficulty is the wounded individual's rage.
That's going to be 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So you've been healed by 1 health level.
No. You rolled a 1. It canceled out your 7.
Well, you don't heal at all.
Yeah. Ooh. So walks. You get artist hears walks and Kora shuffling around her. You hear this new voice. There is this sense of fear that's bubbled up.
If I hear her drop,
yep.
There's no like question. I'm not gonna be like, I wonder what's happening. Am I going next, or are you going next?
No, I'm going next. I'm just letting you know that as all of the sounds are kind of like directing themselves down, there's still that one kind of voice that is right in front of you, and you feel the air vibrate as the swing comes flying at you.
Okay.
Would you like to try to dodge?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So that's going to be perception and athletics, difficulty 7.
Okay. Bro, what? Okay. I have 2 10s, 2
Okay.
1s, and a 7.
So 1 success.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Okay. So my 4 successes turns into 3. 3 threshold plus 5 aggravated. If you could roll your stamina for me.
Okay. On my way. Hold on. Wait. What's the difficulty?
6.
6?
Yep.
Ooh, 1 success.
1 success. Okay.
Yeah.
So you take 4 points of aggravated damage
Okay.
as this man's claws into you.
Cool. Cool.
It feels like the hand is slightly bigger than your hand. Like, this is not a big man by any stretch of the imagination, but his claws feel like tree trunks. Like, they just carve through your flesh. If you could give me a stamina roll, difficulty 8, as we come to your turn.
Okay. Um, 9, 4, and 3.
Okay, so you heal 1 hit point of damage,
Lucky.
as you are Metis.
Mm-hmm. Question.
Yes.
I want to activate my primal anger, but I don't know all of it. Can you help me?
Okay, so make a rage roll.
Okay. I have not done this before. Can you explain it to me, please?
Yeah. So you're going to roll a number of dice equal to your rage, which is...
Okay.
Is it 5?
6.
6. Good times.
So I have to get a 6-sided die?
No. So you have to roll 6 10-siders.
Oh, got it. Okay. Here, heard. And the difficulty 6?
Difficulty is... No, the difficulty is 8.
Okay. All right. Okay. So 3 successes.
3 successes.
Yeah. Fuck you.
The sudden the sound of Kora having dropped the sound of Walks's desperation to try and fix the situation, and then this attack that seemingly came out of nowhere to you because you can't see what's happening. There is this moment where instinctively you shift into your Krynos form. You can feel yourself getting bigger, heavier, the monstrous huffing of your lungs pushing to increase the amount of damage that you can take, and the amount of damage you're about to deal overwhelms you. So you are in your Krynos form for free, and it is your turn.
Yay! Okay, so the person in front of me just hit me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Awesome. Love that. You said there were 2 people that I can sense, or just this first one?
Just the one.
Just the one. Awesome. I'm going to bite his fucking head.
Okay. So you're gonna make...
if he swiped at me, I'm just, and I went this way because of my head, I turn and just bite.
Okay. So you're gonna make a dexterity and brawl roll.
Dexterity and brawl.
Gonna be difficulty 7.
Okay. Oh, thank God I'm so fucking dexterous. Jesus. My brawl is so fucking low. 7, you said?
Yep.
Fuck. None.
No successes. Wow.
No.
I was
A
already
lot of
rolling my
6s,
soap.
though.
You snap down where you think he is,
Mhm.
but you don't come in contact with anything. And
Mhm.
even kind of like thrashing about in the same vicinity,
Mhm.
you get like a couple strands of the hairs. You can feel him kind of
Mhm.
moving around you,
Mhm.
but there's no actual contact. Walks and Kora, which one of you would like to go first?
I think I'll try again with more
Okay.
healing.
Sure.
Once
Just
more?
oh no, oh no,
So
oh no.
that's gonna eat up another point of your
Gnosis, yeah.
gnosis. How much gnosis you got?
I've got one more.
Ooh,
Oh.
ooh.
Eh,
Whoa!
Oh, no whammies. 2
okay,
successes.
two success.
Wow.
Kora heals 2 points of damage. Uh, this might be the game changer because it is enough to unstagger Kora. Like the healing properties of what is it? The unicorn that teaches the gift.
Oh,
I thought it was bear.
yes, the unicorn spirit.
Okay. Flows through you. You're still hurt, but now that you can see what's happening, you see this kind of scraggly man. You see the mouth full of kind of like jagged, pointed teeth. Um, there's no heartbeat. There's no like racing heart in of fear, given that he's standing toe to toe with a Krynos. There is just this kind of wild look, like this is a happy meal for him.
So Kora basically sees this go on, sees this thing. And yeah. And I'm going to spend a rage.
Whoa, okay.
I am going to shift right into Krynos.
Perfect.
Get him, bitch.
Yep, that's what's happening. We are wrecking shit.
Okay.
And it's going to be one of those things where she does the rush straight into claws in the back. And it's very much this turnabout's fair play.
Yeah.
I love being a rune sometimes. I don't always get to do this, so
Good time.
it's a very good time. It's all gonna be great. We're all gonna have a good time.
What the Jesus Christ was
What
that?
was that? Oh, I didn't mean to draw a sheet. The sheet's being picky for some reason.
Oh. Sheet.
You know how it is.
Yep.
Give me my stuff. I apologize, everyone that's watching this stream.
That's fine.
Hope everyone's having a good time.
Click
There we
it.
go. That's what I needed. I had to click the all button.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Stupid technology.
Yep.
What's it ever done?
Right. Mm. 10 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 2 is 2. You hit him. He doesn't have any dice to dodge, so you got 2 threshold to add to your strength +1 on claws.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 2 threshold. It's the same number as my claw attack. Ain't that neat?
Oh my god. 1, 2, 3.
Just
Two,
so
3,
neat.
4, 5, 6 points of damage. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, if this goes the way I think it is, she's lifting him practically by the rib cage with the claws and everything.
You reach around, you kind of come in like one of those little hair clips, like just bringing your claws into his back. And it takes a lot more of your strength than you are used to even pierce his skin. There is it almost feels like marble when you try to cut into him instead of flesh. But you do hear him scream in pain. You do pierce some of his flesh and manage to rend as you bring your arms back around. And he sees that there's 2 werewolves in front of him now. And immediately, intelligence kicks in. He sighs, almost like he is mad, but also like he is under orders. And then you see him instantly shift down into a wolf and books. Like he is a blur of gray and white fur. And starts to just kind of vanish at the horizon. And you see like a small flurry of snow start to pick up as the cold weather reminds you that you are in winter for sure. But you have driven this vampire away.
What a little bitch.
Yeah. Oh, 1 vampire against 2 werewolves. Yeah, he's the bitch.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. He decided to fucking sneak attack, stupid bitch.
Yeah, because he thought you were fucking mortals, not fucking a pack of
we
werewolves.
Were food.
Yeah.
Not the apex predators that we are.
Yeah. Like, he knows what side his bread is buttered on. But I'll say that you guys stay in Krino's form until you heal back up. Are you guys going to try to rest up for the night, or are you going to follow Pepe's trail?
Rest with the corpses?
In the place where we were nearly one-shot killed?
Yeah.
You weren't one-shot killed, please. The silver bullet was more of a one-shot kill.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
I was just down for a bit.
Yeah.
I got better.
You got better. Pushing on then to not be sitting ducks or geese in this metaphor. You find yourselves coming up to what looks to be a cave. And it is, you run most of the night. It looks like whatever drove Pepe into doing whatever he did or reacting however he reacted to the scene that you came across. It drove him quite a distance away. And as the sun comes up on the east and you follow his scent into a cave, you see that he is all the way in the back of this cave, like 20-30 minutes descent into this hole in the ground. And next to him is the body of the dead priest that you recognize from the photo, and a young girl who looks to be sleeping. And this is where we're gonna call it for tonight. So, as always, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this. I'm excited that hopefully we get Pepe back. Either way, you have found him. So if I have to be Pepe for a little bit, I'll be Pepe for a little bit. But we should be getting our Ragabash back.
Yay!
You better be back.
So as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for allowing me to be your storyteller. I know that Donald, have you been wanting to be found on the internet, or do we? Okay, so we're gonna skip you. We're gonna skip you for your little portion of giving back. So Ray, where can people find you, and what are you up to?
I'm on Instagram at Ray of Moonlight, but I'm not really up to anything right now, so do whatever you want. I'm up to this. That's about it. Okay. And then eventually we'll get back to fucking Legend of the Five Rings, but that seems to have been put on the back burner.
that has been having some issues. Nigga, where can people find you? What are you up to?
Hello, I am Ravinia, also known as the Goth Furycorn. You can find me on Twitter under @the_squishy_bear. You can find me on the other social medias under the Goth Furycorn. At the moment, you can kind of see me a little bit here, a little bit there. I've been a little bit quiet, but things are coming.
Okay.
Interesting things are coming.
Okay.
But you can find me here on Ravenos Ocron's channel. You can find me on occasion on McStabber Studios channel. You can find me occasionally on Emporium of the Wayward Gamer.
Ooh.
And there's some other things.
But... Okay. As always, you can find us here on the channel. Mondays are for Vampire the Masquerade. Tuesdays are for Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings, as Ray mentioned, which is going through its own little hell of scheduling conflicts. And every other Thursday, we do 7th Sea on the channel. But as always, we take mental health seriously here. So if you feel like you need help, just know that there are resources out there for you and that it is okay to not be okay. So just know that if you're watching live on Twitch, there's phone numbers going up on the Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube at your leisure. And there is a link going up so that you can find resources if you're not in the United States closest to you. Because like I said, people are out there that want to help you, that can help you. And so you're not alone. It is okay to not be okay, and I will always advocate for you getting help because your story matters, and I'd rather listen to you vent than hear about your passing. So please know that there are resources out there, and that there are people who care, and that there are people who want to help you. So just know that there are avenues out there, even if it feels like there aren't. But as always, you can find us here at the schedule above. You can find me starting in June on Wednesdays at McStabber Studios, like Ravenia said, where I will be playing a La Sombra in a Dark Ages campaign. That's going to be interesting. But all of June and July, I'll be running a Star Wars Chronicle over on Fridays. Through an old Tales of the Jedi time period long before the Old Republic, Luke Skywalker, and any of the shenanigans that people have attributed to Rian Johnson, because he's a fuckface and he can go fuck himself. But take care of yourselves. Please know that we care deeply about all of you, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good night, guys. Bye.